Hey, I am doing a video that is different than one I have done before because today I went to Marshall's and TJ Maxx and found a bunch of MAC and Nars products. And so I thought I would do a video putting those together into a look. Now, I did not find any foundation, but I did find concealer. So I already have foundation on. I'm just using a skin tint that I use a lot. So it's a good base for makeup. But the first find is that I got some of the MAC Studio Radiance Concealer in my shade, which is NC10. And again, this is like 65% off. And I was thinking about ordering this, but I don't know. I saw that they have a sale coming up in a couple of weeks or a week. And so I thought, oh, I'll just wait until I can get 25% off. And instead, I found it today for like 65% off. So we're going to start with this. This way, if I don't love it, it's okay because I didn't spend as much on it. This is my like actual shade. It is not a brightening concealer. I was really surprised that they had it at all. Again, I don't know if I just got there on the right day, but I was there on a Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon because I was able to get out of work a little bit early. And anyway, I wanted to share my finds with you all. So here is this concealer. Just going to use a bit where I would normally conceal. I think I'm going to put some here because I do have some redness. And when I first put that down, I was a little worried about the color, but it blends out and it looks way less yellow and lighter. Now, this concealer is supposed to be, I think, like wear really long. And it says that it is Studio Radiance 24-hour Luminous Lift Concealer. But it's going on pretty matte. And is pretty full coverage. Like, it's definitely fuller coverage than the concealers I have been using. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to put on just a little bit of contour. I didn't buy contour. So I'll probably come back. Okay, just put on a bit of contour. Because with the lights, with filming, if I don't have some contour on, it won't give the color products, they won't show up right on camera. I have found that out. So I don't always wear contour when I'm out and about in the world, but when I am filming, I do always put some on. And I just used the Sashu Contour Stain, which, by the way, they have at Ulta now. They carry this brand at Ulta now. Maybe they've been doing that for a long time. So I bought one of these MAC Strobe blushes. I had one that I really like. I think I have Nightlight, and this is Good Vibes, and it is the color that is here. So it's a little crazy. I didn't realize it was going to be quite so pigmented when I picked it up, but I'm going to see if I use just a little bit if I can shear it out and make it usable. But this may be bad. So I'm going to try just putting a little on, but see, it is bright. Yeah, if you want that cold girl look, I got it for you in a bottle. Well, in a tube with the doe foot. The good news is if I like this, it will last me the rest of my life because I am using the tiniest amount and it is still super pigmented. Now, part of that is just from me rubbing on my face. And part of that is because this is like fluorescent blush. It's not meant for my skin tone, but I do love this product. I like, it's a serum blush and I like that it is so translucent and it shears out so well. There we go. Like my face has calmed down a little bit. I mean, that's wearable. But there's hardly any there. I am going to powder, because most of the other things that I'm going to use are powder oriented. So I want to set everything. And we'll see how it wears. This is basically a first impression, because I think they carry similar things at all, like TJ Maxx's and Marshall's. I found these products, a lot of the same ones were at TJ Maxx, Marshall's, and Ross. So if you have any of them, and you are interested in any of these products or different shades in the same product, I would go and look. The powder blushes, I got Harmony and Breadth of Plum. I've been wanting a berry colored blush or a plummy blush, powder blush. So this is perfect. Back to what I've got here. So I'm going to put on, because I'm wearing kind of a berry tone blouse. I realize you can't really see my blouse, but so I'm going to put a little bit of this blush on top of, and maybe it'll, I don't know, kind of elevate that fluorescent pink color. I like that. That's softer. It softened up the serum blush. And the serum blush, again, is called Good Vibes. And that powder blush is Breadth of Plum. And it's a Sheertone blush. That would be why I like it. Because even though it's a fairly middle tone color, I wouldn't call it dark, I can wear it because it's a Sheertone blush. Did that. Now I'm going to do my brows real fast. So this is an actual pencil, like wooden pencil. There we go. And then on the other side, there's a spoolie. But I think it's actually a fairly good color for me because it is like in between blonde and brown. I don't know. So there's the Brunette. And it is darker in person than it looks there. And it is powdery. So when I touch it with my finger or with the spoolie, it kind of blurs and becomes kind of powdery. Interesting. Not my favorite brow formula, but not bad. It did what I wanted it to do. It defined my brows. Okay, so we've got that. In terms of eyeshadow, I bought, this was probably the worst purchase that I made today. I bought a Laura Geller eye palette. Now Laura Geller is kind of known for her baked formulas. Well, there were 3 of them and they all shattered. So when I opened this, there was pink, like glitter dust everywhere. And so I had to clean that up. But the whole palette was like $9. So I wish it was in a box, so I had no way of knowing that it was broken unless I had opened the box to look inside. But the box was sealed. I had been wanting some pink matte eyeshadows, and so the ones that stuck around are kind of pinkish. It's not the best palette for me, but okay, I'm going to start with the cream colored one and just put that here in the, and I probably shouldn't do this part first. I'm going to use a crease brush, and I'm going to use this like pinky brown color here for my crease. These do seem to be pretty creamy mattes, and they've got good color payoff. It's actually probably a little bit too much color payoff for me. The colors are just a little too saturated for my skin tone. But, you know, live and learn. I think these would be great for somebody that was a shade or 2 deeper than I am. So maybe medium, light, medium. These colors would work well. I mean, they might work well on a light person too, just not as fair as I am. I'm doing a lot of blending to make it not like a color in your face. Okay, so that was that, and then I'm going to do the majority of the lid with this pink color, kind of a, I don't know, ballerina pink. I just wish that they were rosier, I guess. I want them to be more muted tones than they are. Like even this pink is like, it's so saturated. Like it's a light color, but it's just so saturated and warmer than I want it to be. I wish it was more cooler leaning. So this palette is probably a bust for me. I'm still looking for a cool pink, purpley set of shadows. I really only need like 3 or 4 of them. If you have any suggestions for like a cool tone pink eyeshadow palette that would just give me like a baby pink, maybe kind of a rosy tone. It doesn't even have to be cool tone. It could just be neutral, but I want it to be rosy instead of peachy. So to lean maybe mauve instead of leaning peach. because this actually is pretty peachy. I know what I can do. I can put some of that blush in the eye look. I think that will cool it down. Yeah. I did get an eyeliner, but it does not go with this look at all. So it's the Stila Stay All Day Dual Ended Liquid Liner, and it's two colors. There's kind of a foresty green, and then there's a like teal color. So it's teal and intense jade, and that is what these colors are on my hand. So what they call intense jade is like a forest green, and then the teal is teal. It's almost turquoise. Also, these are, so they're liquid liners, and the green one looks like a typical liquid liner. But the teal one is this tiny bitty, like, I don't know if you can see how small this tip is. So I think it would be really neat if you were wanting to do like artistic eyes, like kind of drawing on your eyelid. This would work fantastic for that. Also, you can just get the tiniest of lines. And they had several different combos of this. There was one that was brown and kind of a peach color. There was a black with a pink. The brown and peach is probably what I should have bought, but I was thinking that I don't have, I mean, I have some green eyeliners, but I don't have any liquid green eyeliners, and I don't have any teal. So even though it doesn't really go with this look, I'm going to put on the teal one just so you can see what it looks like on my eyes. I realize that it doesn't go with the look, but and that tiny little felt tip allowed me to do just a really small line. And I think when I put on mascara, you're not going to really notice that line so much, but I think it will help my eyes look greener. You know, maybe I'm delusional, but that's my thought process. Okay, so I just put on some black mascara. You can still see the teal, but I feel like it's a little less noticeable with the mascara. It doesn't look as odd of a choice that I made. So what I think is likely happened is that I know MAC recently came out with their revamp of the Powder Kiss lipsticks, and I think now they're calling them like lip and cheek mousse, but they existed before and they were just the Powder Kiss liquid lip color. So I don't know if it changed, if the formula changed, or they just changed the name of it, and then changed some of the colors. I picked up two colors that were ones that I was interested in. I got Over the Taupe, More the MEHR-ier, MEHR-ier, and I think that that refers to a lip liner that MAC has that is MEHR-MEHR. So it's the More the Merrier. So here's More the Merrier, which is purple, and it's gonna be what I put on today. And then Over the Taupe does not look taupe at all. It looks like a reddish brown. I'll put these on my hand. And I never used this formula in the past because I thought it was a liquid lipstick, that kind of stuff that dries down, is super matte, and is supposed to stay put on your lips, but it doesn't stay put. And if you eat or drink anything, and then you get this like weird ring in the middle that's your lips, and then the color is stuck on the outside and it gets crusty and dries out your lips, and it's awful. I hate that stuff. So I thought that's what this was, but it's not that. It is like a mousse. So these are the two colors. So that top one, the reddish brownish one, that's over the taupe. And then the bottom one is the more the merrier. And then I also bought 2 bullet lipsticks. Teddy 2.0, which is in the Powder Kiss lipstick formula. So this is like the bullet version of that same thing. I don't know, more emollient than the current ones, because I did buy 2 of the ones that were recently released, like about a month ago. That's funny that Teddy 2.0 and Over the Taupe look extremely similar. And then in the retro matte lipstick, I got Bronx, which is 708. And I bought this because I actually put this in my cart. I've got this sitting and Harmony both sitting in my matte cart waiting for that 25% off sale. So when I saw this one, I was like, well, there you go. I'm just going to buy it for $10. Okay. So, Over the Taupe. In no world is that taupe. More the Merrier, Bronx, and Teddy 2.0. So they're all a version of matte. Now, the Bronx is just matte, whereas all the other ones, if you mess with them, they just kind of sheer out. Like you can see with Teddy 2.0, it really sheers out. The other lipstick I got was a Nars Afterglow lip oil, and I got it in shade Twirl, which is just kind of a rosy pink color. And I have always liked these Afterglow lip oils. They just feel really nice on the lips. And this is a color that would go with so many different things. And I would put it on today, but instead I am going to use the More the Merrier because it goes with my kind of berry plummy look. And there's something like, I don't know, you cannot describe about these Powder Kiss liquid lip colors or mousses, depending on if you're going with version 1.0 or 2.0, but they feel exactly the same. In that they do blur out and become, I think they're just desaturated colors. So it's the exact opposite thing that's happening with the eyeshadow, in that even though it's a darker color, because it's desaturated, I can wear it and it isn't like electric on my face. That's probably not great for people with deeper skin tones than I have. I don't know that they would like this formula at all. But for somebody that has always struggled with being able to wear maybe a fifth of the color line when a makeup brand puts out a lipstick range, I can usually wear like 2 or 3 of the colors because everything else just has too much for me. And it's just too high contrast for my skin tone. Every one of these I can wear. Now, I'm not purchasing ones that I think would look bad on me, but if you just looked at this tube, you would think, there's no way that I can wear that, but yet I can. And it's very pretty. And they also feel great. Like, even though they're powdery looking and just super blurry, look very matte, they don't dry out your lips. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a mystical, magical formula that I'm so glad that I actually tried it. I just wanted to let you know that if you like MAC stuff and if you like especially their Powder Kiss or their matte lipsticks, go to your closest Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Ross, because mine had them like so much product in all of the places, and it was substantially discounted from what you would pay full price.